Good evening, everyone. I will call the organizational meeting to order. In the spirit of truth and reconciliation, we acknowledge the town of Edson is located on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral lands of the Niqawak, Saulteaux, Siksika, Piikani, Kainai, Dene, Nakota Sioux, and the Otipemisiwak Métis Nations. We honor the knowledge of this land, the elders and youth which gather here, and our ancestors who have gathered here for centuries. Can I get a motion, please, that the agenda for the October 28th, 2025 organizational meeting of council be adopted as presented? Go ahead, Councillor Wilson-Lear.
I move that the agenda for the October 28th, 2025 organizational meeting of council be adopted as presented.
All right, thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. Can I now ask Ms. Corin Scott, our legislative officer, to introduce our next items regarding the meeting schedule?
Good evening, Council. It's my pleasure to kick off this new council term at your organizational meeting. First up is the Council and Committee of the Whole schedule. The schedule presented remains consistent with the schedule from this previous council term, that being council meetings on the first and third Tuesday each month and Committee of the Whole the second Tuesday each month. There is reflected a reduced schedule in July and August to one regular council meeting per month. And of course, special meetings can be called as required. You'll note cancellations that are recommended include Remembrance Day and AB Munis Convention, winter break, as well as the summer break. Lastly, to note, administration continues to recommend to cancel the January Committee of the Whole meeting and in place host a regular council meeting in the event that items need to be addressed following the winter break. This is noted as Motion 2. However, it is included in Attachment 1. Motion 2 will not be required should Attachment 1 be approved as presented. Should there be amendments to Attachment 1, administration continues to recommend the change of the meetings on January 13th, 2026.
All right, thank you, Ms. Scott, for that information. Council, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns? All right, seeing that, can I get a motion from the floor, please? Councillor Schramm.
Yeah, I move that council approve the 2025-2026 council and committee of the whole meeting schedule as set out in attachment 1.
Thank you. Any further questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that motion is carried. And because we did pass that motion, motion 2 is not required, as Ms. Scott mentioned. We are going to move on to Deputy Mayor's rotation. Once again, Ms. Scott, if you would like to take that one away.
Thank you, Mayor. In 2023, the Deputy Mayor rotation was increased to an 8-month term. That's allowing each councillor to serve one extended appointment as Deputy Mayor. Administration has provided the same rotation today, commencing today to election 2029. This list was generated alphabetically by last name. Following a resolution from council on this matter, administration does request that the newly appointed deputy mayor be sworn in before council continues to move on to the next agenda item.
All right, thank you, Ms. Scott, for that information. I'll just supplement for new members of council why we moved from a 4-month to an 8-month term for deputy mayor. The reason was one of the things that we learned throughout the last term was sometimes we wouldn't know who the deputy mayor was because it rotated so often. And one of the other issues was during the emergencies, it's hard to keep people updated all the time. So by having an 8-month term, there's a little bit more conversations that happen between the mayor and the deputy mayor and ensure that there's continuity with that position, and it gives people a really good basis of time to learn how to chair a meeting. Because sometimes when you're doing that 4-month term, if you end up in the summertime, you may actually not chair any meetings, which is a challenge. So an 8-month term will give us some really good experience in the deputy mayor's chair. So the rotation is as set out in the attachment, with Councillor Fogarty being the first person up. So just going to throw you into the deep end. Council, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, I will take a motion from the floor, please. Go ahead, Councillor Taylor.
I move the council rotate the position of deputy mayor every 8 months between each councillor, and that such rotation occur in alphabetical order and as follows. Reading the entirety. Fogarty Pat, October 28th, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Holden Sean, July 1st, 2026 to February 28th, 2027. Positiony Greg, March 1st, 2027 to October 31st, 2027. Shram Al, November 1st, 2027 to June 30th, 2028. Taylor Peter, July 1st, 2028 to February 28th, 2029. Wilson Lair, Corey, March 1st, 2029 to October 15th, 2029.
All right, thank you, Councillor Taylor. Council, any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously, and we're going to have Deputy Mayor Fogarty take the oath of office. So tomorrow morning, Deputy Mayor, if you want to start by washing my car, that'd be fantastic. Kidding, I'm kidding. That's not a thing. All right, we're going to move on to appointments to boards and committees. Once again, Ms. Scott.
Thank you, Mayor. Administration has provided attachment number 1 as reviewed and approved by the mayor. I'll call attention to attachment number 1. Committees denoted with an asterisk are those boards and committees that have been established by town council. The others are either partner or external committees. An additional note, when a final committee list is posted and circulated, the Homelessness, Mental Health and Addictions Task Force will appear under its new name, Edson and District Homelessness Task Force Society. That's all from Legislative Services. I don't know if, Mayor, you have anything to supplement.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. So just for everyone's awareness, when coming up with the council committee list, I have conferred with each member of council to discuss what their interests are, what their schedules are like, and then trying to balance the workloads out. Obviously, some committees require a lot of travel, which is not conducive to certain members of council because of their work commitments. So we've tried to balance that out and give everybody a good chance to learn different areas and be involved in things that they're interested in. So I hope council is happy with the committee list presented before them. I will state, and this is critically important to all members of council, if you are unable to attend your council committees, be sure to contact your alternate so we do have representation if your committee allows for an alternate. Not having Edson representation there because nobody was informed that you would not be attending is not appropriate. So we want to ensure that council is represented. And as per orientation, we are there to be there as a liaison or to provide input, but you can't make any decisions on behalf of council. All those have to still come to council for any formal approval. So if you have any questions about any of your committees, feel free to reach out to the members of council that sat on them before. Myself or administration be happy to help you out with that. Council, do you have any questions, comments, concerns with the committee list as presented? Go ahead, Councillor Taylor.
Through the mayor to council, no concerns with the committee list. I think everyone's fully suited on the list as it is. Serving on council for the past term, saw a lot of good relevancy from many boards and committees. Obviously, there are some boards and committees that we are required to sit on by legislation or by will of council. But I certainly want to take the next 6 months to a year as members of council sit on these committees and sort of ask the question, do these committees and boards that we sit on align with the strategic objectives of this council? And obviously we have not done our strategic plan. That's something that's going to happen early next year. And as we develop it, do the boards and committees that we sit on align with those goals? I certainly have questions about some of them, but nothing I want to bring up right now. I want to see how members of council sit on these committees, what they bring back to the table, the importance of them, the relevance of them, and see again if they align with the goals, the values of what we're doing, or are there other boards and committees that may be more relevant to what we have objectives to? That's just an observation I had made with this past term with some of the council committee reports that were coming in, whether or not they aligned or whether or not the board or committee provided value to this council. So that's just my only comment. I'm looking forward to hearing the committee reports and seeing how they're relevant to our council. And if they're not, then we need to certainly have discussions, probably post-strategic plan, whether or not they align with our goals and objectives. So that's my comments.
Thank you, Councillor Taylor. Any further comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, I will take a motion from the floor, please. Councillor Holden.
I move that council approve the 2025-2026 council board and committee appointments as set out in attachment number 1.
Thank you. Any further questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. And the next are the public member appointments to boards and committees. Go ahead, Ms. Scott.
Council, we will be reviewing the, again, council established boards and committees. This includes public member recruitment to FCSS Advisory Board, the Edson Public Library Board, Municipal Policing Committee, which is a new committee, Regional Assessment Review Board, and our wonderful members from Youth Council. Because we do have to review the applications in closed session, I will be looking for a motion to go into closed session to review the applications.
All right, thank you very much. And for the members that are in the gallery, closed session means it's a private portion of the meeting, so everybody will have to leave the room while we do discuss that. So with that, council, can I get a motion, please, from the floor? Go ahead, Deputy Mayor Fogarty.
I move that the meeting move into closed session pursuant to the Access to Information Act, Section 20, Disclosure Harmful to Personal Privacy, and Section 22, Confidential Evaluations, to discuss public member applications.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. All right, we will return to open session. Thanks for your patience while we discussed the members of the various committees. So can I get a motion, please, for the council appointments to the FCSS Advisory Board, please? Go ahead, Councillor Wilson-Lear.
I move that council appoint the following FCSS Advisory Board members with terms commencing November 1st, 2025 and expiring October 31st, 2028. Diana Chomiak, Lindsay Goman, Lance Cassavant, and Greg Gannett.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson-Lear. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. Can I get a motion, please, for the Library Board appointments? Go ahead, Councillor Fogarty.
I move that council appoint the following Town of Edson Library Board members with terms commencing November 1st, 2025 and expiring October 31st, 2028. Audra Bowman.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. Can I get a motion, please, on the Municipal Policing Committee appointment? Go ahead, Councillor Schramm.
Yeah, I'll move that council appoint the following municipal policing committee members with terms commencing November 1st, 2025 and expiring October 31st, 2028. Sharon DeVries, Carlo Clem.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. And can I get a motion, please, for the Youth Council appointments?
Conflict of interest. Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I declare conflict of interest.
All right, thank you. Councillor Taylor will step out of the room for this discussion, and we will go to Councillor Pasichny.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I move that council appoint the following youth council members with terms commencing October 28, 2025 and expiring October 31st, 2026. The following new members will be Olivia Hemsley, Maya DeLu, Kayla Martin, Nola Taylor, Christina Belcourt, Lexa Neighbors, Kaylee Strathern, Sue Yun, Cameron Cote, Chloe Connolly, Terrace Travis, Emily Darling, and Brooke Bouchard.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Pasichny. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none. All those in favor? That motion is carried. Congratulations to our new Edson Youth Council who are joining us here this evening. Because of the nature of the work that they do and their close relationship to town council, we are going to ask them to do an oath of office with us here this evening. So please repeat after me. We pledge that we will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of our ability perform the duty of youth council for the town of Edson.
We pledge that we will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of our ability perform the duty of youth council for the town of Edson.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. So we will be going into a regular council meeting here, so you can please join us and watch the regular council meeting. And if you do have to leave, we certainly understand it as well. So thanks for joining us this evening, and thanks for joining us for the swearing-in ceremony earlier. With that, we will adjourn the organizational meeting for October 28th, 2025. All right, we will move on to our regular meeting of council, which I will call to order for October 28th, 2025. In the spirit of truth and reconciliation, we acknowledge the town of Edson is located on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral lands of the Niqua, Saulteaux, Siksika, Piikani, Kainai, Dene, Nakota Sioux, and the Otipimiswak Métis Nations. We honor the knowledge of this land, the elders and youth which gather here, and our ancestors who have gathered here for centuries. Can I get a motion, please, that the agenda for the October 28th, 2025 regular meeting of council be adopted as presented? Go ahead, Councillor Holden.
I motion that the agenda for the October 28th, 2025 regular meeting of council be adopted as presented.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Can I get a motion, please, for the minutes of the September 16th, 2025 budget meeting of council? Go ahead, Councillor Pisichny.
I'm going to move it, but I'm going to move it as corrected, as my name is spelled incorrect in the minutes. So I will move that the minutes for the Tuesday, the September 16, 25 budget meetings be adopted as amended, with my name being spelled with G-R-E-G, not G-R-E-Y.
All right, thank you very much. Councillor Wilson-Lear, you have a comment? No. All right, thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. Can I get a motion, please, that the minutes of the September 9th, 2025 special meeting of council be adopted as presented? Go ahead, Councillor Wilson-Lear.
I move that the minutes of the September 9th, 2025 special meeting of council be adopted as presented.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. And can I get a motion, please, for the September 2nd, 2025 regular meeting of council? Go ahead, Councillor Schramm.
Yeah, I move that the minutes of the September 2nd, 2025 regular meeting of council be adopted as presented.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. We have no public hearings, no presentations and delegations, no bylaws. We do have some business items this evening on our light agenda package, and we will start with our GM of Corporate Services, Mr. Brett Hawken.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, members of council. Tonight we're going to talk about the Alberta Municipal Internship Program through Alberta Municipal Affairs. So this program is administered through the provincial government. It encourages post-secondary grads to get into municipal careers, and there are three main streams through it: admin, finance, and land use planning. However, we are recommending that we apply for the administrative stream, as this has the broadest exposure, can touch every part of the organization, and still has the ability to touch land use planning and finance. So the program overview, the internship provides funding for salary, benefits, and professional development. We receive $62,500 from the provincial government. This is to supplement, like I said, the salary, benefits, professional development, and it is an 18-month term. So with the standard of what you would pay an intern, which is roughly just above 50 grand, there is a supplemental factor of what the municipality would have to contribute as well. So over the 18-month term, to supplement what the grant gives, we would be roughly contributing $51,000 over the entire 18-month term in order to fund this program. And I will note that this has already been budgeted into the budget that was presented in September. Therefore, this would not affect the budget if council were to proceed with it today. If they were not to proceed with it, that money would just be pulled out of the budget that was presented. So we would tailor this experience to what our current projects and priorities are, and this will help improve the capacity of the entire organization. So I talked about the benefits. There's funding provided for it. We get our capacity. It's very cost effective, and it's an opportunity to develop and mentor a possible leader in the industry, as well as there's opportunities to share with other municipalities and do, they're called site visits. So if Hinton or Yellowhead County, they would have the opportunity to possibly go to some of their meetings and see what they're doing and some of the inter-collaboration work that is happening as well. So the breakdown, this is what I talked about a couple slides ago. Nothing new on this slide. Town would contribute around 51. The province would contribute 62.5. So proposed interim projects, this list is not all-encompassing. This is just initial high level, what we know that they could contribute to, but there's obviously a lot more. But we're currently doing the records management overhaul, which is roughly a 2-year project, so it worked lovely with that timeline. Capital procurement admin work, doing HR best practices, attending intermunicipal and senior leadership meetings. We have a ton of policy and bylaw reviews and audit exposure that they could do. Possibly doing the MDP and IDP updates they could be involved with, as well as process analysis and research for, can we do better service levels? Can we do different processes for how we help our public? So the recommendation today is that council approve the administration to submit a grant application for the 2026 Alberta Municipal Internship Program to assist in funding the employment of an administrative intern for an 18-month term. If council were to approve that today, the next steps are the application will be submitted. We await confirmation if we are selected as a host, and then if we are selected as a host, we prepare the onboarding. So the way that this works is we are not guaranteed, if we apply to get an intern, we're not guaranteed to be a host. Alberta Municipal Affairs goes through all the applications from the host municipalities. They select the, call it winners. Then the process from there is all of the post-grads that apply for the internship program go into a large pool. Those grads then select, they get to see a list of all the hosts that were selected from Alberta Municipal Affairs. They check those off. The pool that told, for our instance, they would say there's 20 people that were interested in coming to Edson. We would then review all of their resumes and go through a standardized interview process like we would for any other position for the organization. And then we would put out an offer letter to the successful intern. And that would be the process. That is my presentation. Are there any questions from council?
Go ahead, CO Beveridge.
Mr. Mayor, just to supplement, for new members of council, for the last 2 years, we have applied for the Municipal Internship Program, and we were not successful for the following last 2 years. But prior to that, the town of Edson, as per the RFD, had received many great interns over the years that did help supplement, that are still in the industry today.
Thank you. Any further questions? Go ahead, Councillor Pasichny.
Yeah, through the mayor to council. This is a great program, and it's one of those areas where you can bring people up through succession and provide roles for your community. So it's definitely something I support.
Thank you. Councillor Schramm.
Yeah, just a couple things and clarifications. First of all, I do support the program. I've seen how it works with our community, and it's been very successful with some really good high-end candidates who come through our organization. Just a question for administration is, through the mayor to administration, is the applicant selection and the grant all tied together? So if you're selected, the grant is automatic?
Go ahead, GM Hawken.
Through the mayor, yes. If you are selected as a host municipality, you are then approved for the full $62,500.
All right, thank you. Any further questions, comments, or concerns? Go ahead, Councillor Wilson-Lear.
Through the mayor to administration, I know that you're discussing success of previous interns and staying within the industry. If we were successful to get an intern, would there be any focus on retaining that individual should they work out for our town of Edson?
I'll hand that over to CO Beveridge. Go ahead.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson-Lear. Absolutely. That would be up to future discussions with budget as far as additional staffing. There's always a great opportunity with a bright young mind that's able to come to our organization. If there is an opportunity to do so, that would be an option, but that would be depending on if there's a vacancy that's available, or if in some cases where there's a new position, that would be something that council would consider at time of budget.
Excellent question. Thank you very much for that. And we have actually hired some of the interns previously. And we have an intern sitting around the table right now that was a product of the internship program. So we're very lucky to have him as well. So, Council, do you have any further questions, comments, or concerns? With that, I will take a motion from the floor, please. Go ahead, Councillor Taylor.
I move the council approve administration to submit a grant application for the 2026 Alberta Municipal Internship Program administered by Alberta Municipal Affairs to assist in funding the employment of an administrative intern for an 18-month term.
All right, any further comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? That motion is carried unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Hawken, for that presentation. Next up, we will welcome Deputy Fire Chief Joey Chirpin on the FRIAA grant application.
Good evening, Council. Mr. Mayor, thanks for having me here tonight. So I am here speaking on behalf of Fire Chief Milton to present this. So for background, FRIAA stands for the Forest Resource Improvement Association of Alberta. They frequently put out grants for different types of work in our forested areas. This one in particular has to do with fire smarting and fire guard installation. So fire smart work, if we look at the slideshow up here, typically what it is it takes the density down of our forested areas, so it thins out the trees. What this does is it reduces the intensity of fire, creates suppression opportunities. Another secondary thing it does is it improves the general public safety in the public areas by improving line of sight along our pathways and public spaces. So there's kind of that tertiary effect as well. So this particular application we want to pursue, so we're looking at two different avenues here. So one is fire smart work, where we do the vegetation thinning and vegetation management. That would take us from the area around 6 Ave, kind of down that Lions Park area, up behind Parkland High School, and then towards Edson Drive. And then the second part is a fire guard. This is where we actually remove the vegetation. We clear cut some land. And the next slide after this will show the clear cut area. This is the anticipated fire smart work area. So on the top right side there, you do see that long wick of fuel that runs from Lions Park up behind Parkland High School. And then on the bottom left, so we have a few different areas that are kind of patched in there. One is on the south border of Creekside and Sunset Trailer Parks. We have the east edge of our current snow dump. We have the area around the skate park as well in there. So that's where we would conduct the vegetation management. So that's thinning out the trees, removing the low-lying fuels, and cutting off our ladder fuel. So the kind of the lower limbs of the trees that take ground fires and allow ground fires to climb up into the upper trees, into the canopy. And then this is the other area where we'd be looking at doing fire guarding work. So the previous slide was a total of about 40 hectares. This area is about 30 hectares. So this would be a clear-cut area based on the community wildfire mitigation plan we had done. Some information from there shows that a lot of our prevailing winds come from the west-northwest. So this is just a slowdown of any type of fire that would come into town from that direction. So essentially we're just removing the fuel and opening up suppression opportunities. This is all non-merchantable swamp spruce, so black spruce. It's not really anything of any value to us. It's not parkland, so it'd be a matter of clear cutting this land here. Council, is there any questions?
Thank you, Deputy Chief Chirpin. Council, do you have any questions about the presentation? Go ahead, Councillor Wilson-Lear.
Through the mayor to Deputy Fire Chief Turpin. I'm just wondering if you can confirm whether locations that were identified but not completed under the previous Fire Smart grants will receive priority for treatment under any new grant funding that we receive?
Through the mayor, Councillor Wilson-Lear. So my understanding of this is that we are continuing on previous Fire Smart work. So there was a Fire Smart plan done in 2015, and then there's been fire smarting work done in the recent years as well. So this is building upon prior Fire Smart work, and all the areas based on where we're starting, where we're ending is in a sequence of priority based on the risk, the fuel type, the fuel loading, et cetera. From a plan, the Community Wildfire Mitigation Strategy Plan we had drawn up last year with a consultant.
Councillor Taylor?
Through the mayor to Deputy Chief Turpin, thank you for bringing this forward. In our budget for 2026 is proposed to sort of look at hiring some summer students to work on some fire smarting initiatives. Is this grant looking to offset some of those costs with that, or is this grant focusing more on resources that we need to spend or other contracted services in terms of taking on the initiative?
Through the mayor to Councillor Taylor, this would be supplemental, I believe. If we were to hire a couple summer students, if successful with that, those students would likely just be doing their own type of work, reducing vegetation areas that have previously been treated, improving the fire smart work that's already been done, and kind of retreating those areas versus something of this significance would be a contractor coming in and doing a large project.
Go ahead, Councillor Holden.
Through the mayor to Deputy Fire Chief Turpin, my question is just regarding Councillor Taylor kind of alluded to it. This is a contracted workout, not performed by town employees, I'm assuming?
Through the mayor to Councillor Holden, that would be correct. We'd be contracting this out.
Thank you. Any further questions, comments, concerns? Councillor Schramm?
Through the mayor to all of council, I can't stress enough how important this is. From 2 years ago when we had the wildfires, it was a great reminder that we do live in a forest protection district with a potential of these things happening. And projects like this can only enhance the safety of our community and make it even better and a safer place to live for our residents.
Thank you, Councillor Schramm. Any further comments, questions, concerns? So thank you for identifying the areas that you're looking at applying these grants funds to. I think those are definitely some of the more concerning areas in our community. I have heard concerns about, within our existing trail network, particularly in the West Haven area, that we have some old growth trees and lots of trees that have been knocked down and lots of brush and that sort of thing adjacent to homes. So obviously, by looking at your plan here, that wouldn't impact those trail systems. But is that something where we're looking at the interns doing if we are, or not the summer students doing if we are passing the budget in 2026? I don't know if CO Beveridge or Mr. Turpin can answer that.
I can't confirm the specifics of where Chief Milton desires to have those students working, the summer students working. But that's the scope of work they'd be doing, is they'd be going in and retreating stuff and doing small areas on their own versus, again, the large area that we presented here that'd be contracted out.
All right, thank you very much. Go ahead, CO Beveridge.
As Deputy Chief Turpin mentioned, I think if successful to attain the summer students, the assessment will be done with Deputy Chief Turpin as well as Chief Milton, and keeping in mind the reports and studies that we've had done in the past. I think that, and as well, just some of our areas that we've spoken about that have had issues with encampments within our trail system as well is something that we'd be also looking at as well to clear some of those areas. The retreatment areas would be more ideal for the type of work that we're asking the summer students to do.
Okay, and then just one follow-up question through to administration. Obviously, we did get presented the wildfire mitigation plan to the Emergency Management Committee, but I don't think that's been formally adopted by council. Is a plan to bring that back? Obviously, we have some new members of council here to provide that information, because there's a lot of information and data in there. Also, the opportunity, as I talked with the Minister of Forestry, to start working on some of the larger scale fire guards around our community that are outside of our borders. CO Beveridge, can you answer that?
A great suggestion. I think that would be a great opportunity, likely early in the new year, to be able to bring that back to a committee of the whole meeting for council to really dive in and understand the risks in our area. So I will recommend that Chief Milton and Deputy Chief Turpin provide that.
All right, thank you. If there's no further questions, comments, or concerns, council, can I get a motion from the floor, please? Go ahead, Councillor Schramm.
Yeah, I move that council authorize administration to apply for the 2025-2026 Forest Resource Improvement Association of Alberta Fire Smart Vegetation Management Grant and Fire Guard Grant.
Thank you, Councillor Schramm. Any further questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? That motion is carried. Thank you, Deputy Chief Chirpin. We have no council committee reports this evening, no information items, no notices of motion, and no closed session items. So with that, I'd like to thank council for a great first council meeting of this term. Look forward to working with all of you, and thank you, administration, for all your hard work and dedication. And with that, I will adjourn tonight's meeting at 8:06.